Hey guys, so I went in all the comments and questions and pulled the three most important questions that I think were asked to answer them together for you guys. And then I'm going to give two of my tips to you guys starting out. So question number one, and they're not in any order, is what's the best way to get business, which this is one of the most important questions. And I've seen months of, not dealing with anybody and then, having some leads to deal with. So most importantly, first and foremost, go through your sphere of influence, go to your friends and your family and, build those relationships. And then, ask them, hey, this is my new career. Do you know anybody who is in, the market for a house? And if you do, let me know or let them know. Then I would love to help them. And ask for, not only their if they need help, but referrals. Referrals are key. Another thing that I've noticed tremendously is Zillow. I think that most people these days know what Zillow.com is rather than even Realtor.com. So, since we are like technology driven, we kind of have the power at our fingertips to go and search for a house rather than go first and find a realtor to help us search. So people get on Zillow.com and they start kind of searching. Unfortunately, people who aren't pre-approved yet do get on there and search, and so we have to deal with leads that, could be kind of, a dead end, but, we are kind of focused for the future too. So if they're not pre-approved now, just set them, on the path to success for their home, buying journey, so you can deal with them in the future. But a lot of people go to Zillow.com. So I actually, as of 2 days ago, I just purchased a zip code off of Zillow. So I will keep y'all updated on how that goes for me. But watching, my associates here, most of the clients that we're dealing with come from Zillow. So that is, that's where most of the leads come from. Although it is a purchase, or an investment to purchase Zillow leads. So, if you don't want to spend a lot of money or any money, definitely go to your sphere of influence. A lot of people use mailers, and I just wrote letters, so I will let you know how that goes for me as well. What I did, and I got this idea from Jared James Today. You can go look him up on YouTube. He's awesome, and I learn a lot from him. And I follow him on Snapchat. So, very, very cool guy. So shout out to him. But I watched one of his videos from like 2 years ago, more or less. And it was a mailer that he had used. And I'll actually find that video for you guys, and I'll post it in the description below, so that way y'all can just go watch it, because he explains what he says in the letter. And but in a nutshell, you send it. You find an area that you want to market, and you get to know that neighborhood really well. And you send out a letter to some neighbors saying, hey, your neighbor so-and-so has their place listed for, this much. If you want to know what that changes the value of your home, and if you want to know, your new value, blah, blah, here's my contact information. And so I signed it, and I just sent them out. So I will keep y'all updated on how that goes for me, but that's my attempt to gain leads without spending a lot of money. And then he also says to go, after like a week or so of sending those out, go door knocking, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm really nervous about doing. I know I need to do it, but yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm just nervous. So anyways, those are a few ideas on how to get business. The second question is, how does an open house work, and what is the purpose of them? So open houses are really held open, not so much for buyers to come in and look at the house. It's more so for the realtor that's holding the open house to gain leads. So I guess I should have answered. This is another answer to number one. Okay, how to get business. Hold an open house. Sorry. Well, so anyways, yeah, the main purpose for open houses really is for the realtor to get leads. But it does help, people come. It does help the house to get sold too, especially if it's a really good market. So how does it work? How does an open house work? Typically, the person who has the house, the agent who has the house listed, can hold their house open themselves, but then they would kind of become an intermediary, and there's kind of a question. It kind of becomes a question of like loyalty there, if like, oh, you're representing one party more than another. So really kind of want to stay away from that. That's a whole nother topic. But typically how it works is another agent will come in, and this agent that comes in to hold it open for the buyers will represent the buyers. And this agent doesn't have to be in the same company as the listing agent or anything like that. So in a nutshell, that's how an open house works. Number 3, how many questions are on the exam? So I have a lot of people that watch my videos that are just about to go take their exam. So I kind of thought this maybe would kind of relieve some of y'all. So there's somewhere between 65 to 85 questions on the national exam. And if I'm remembering this correctly, 65 to 85 questions, and it changes for every person. And then on the state exam, there's, I think, about 55, if I'm not mistaken, in each portion of the exam. Both, you have 100 points that you can get on both of that. So do your math on there. And that's what I did. Right when I started my exam, I wrote out, okay, there's this many questions, and, divide that by 100, and then you'll know. And I'm like, I can't miss, any more than X amount of questions. So you can do that. So those are the 3 questions that I kind of saw were, most important. My 2 tips for you guys starting out. Number 1, whenever you're starting real estate, it can get expensive. I know you've probably read this and heard this, but like there are a lot of fees, and I would have a couple of $1,000s ready to just spend on everything getting it started. I mean, I remember my MLS, my multi-listing service fees alone, which you have to have that. I like to say having your MLS is like a firefighter having their bunker gear. Like a firefighter can't go fight fires without his bunker gear on, and as a realtor, you can't really help your clients without having an MLS. That's where you post your listings for people to see. So that's where you market it. That's where you find all the listings. It's major. So, but anyway, I remember that alone, like setting it up and getting it started, was $700. And then there's, I don't know if that was including the Supra key or not. And that's how you go, like when you go, show houses, that's how you get into the house. So these are big deals. I think that was them together, actually, not thinking. But anyway, have, a couple $1,000s just ready to blow on like that stuff and marketing and your office dues. Office dues are typically on average $100 in every office. That's what it's been for me in both of the offices I was at, and that covers things like E&O insurance and just stuff like that. And they'll dissect that for you if you are wondering what each office, what that covers. They'll tell you all of that. But anyway, yeah, have that ready for the real estate to get that started. But if you're going to dive into real estate full time, or like do all the training and just 100% dedicated towards that, don't expect a deal to close in like at least, maybe like 2 to 3 months out if you're lucky, because you may get started with a client, but they may not, find a house that they're looking for in a month, or have, getting their finances together, or just, you never know. There's just so many different reasons why a deal's not going to close. It may take, a month for their loan process. I don't know. So, have 6 to 9 months reserve in your savings account to live off of, to pay your bills, whatever. So 6 to 9 months reserve, and, $1,000 to $2,000 to, get your real estate business up and started. And that's not including the classes or anything. That's just including like the exam and stuff like that and everything. So that's my tip for you guys. I wish I would have had that tip. Number 2, I had some people asking me and worrying about the splits, on between you and the broker, which it is important, but it's even more important to worry about how you're going to get business and how the broker that you're choosing to be with is going to help you get leads as well. I mean, don't solely depend on that, but I mean, it's important. So worry more about how you're going to get deals and business before your splits, because if you don't have any deals, you don't have anything to split. So worry about that first and foremost. 50% is kind of steep, but just 70 is your typical split. 70-30 is your typical split. You get 70 and the broker gets 30. But if they have a buyer lead program, which is what I'm doing now, I have a 70-30 split now. I'm getting 70% of the deal. But then if they referred me, then they get 20%. So it is 50% that I'm getting, but I wouldn't have had that deal otherwise. So I'm okay with that. And especially being new, I'll take, anything to, the experience is definitely worth more. So anyway, those are my tips and answers to those 3 questions. So I hope that helped you guys. If y'all have any more questions, comment below. And I'll get on it. Good luck to you guys. I wish y'all all the best.